Yo, this is Rue, aka the Culture Black Kid. Welcome to Rue and Friends, where we get into the latest releases from the Australian scene. Well, not just Australian scene. The I guess oceanic scene. I don't know how to describe this area anymore. To
We're
be
going across we're going across ponds to Aotearoa.
Yeah, I keep saying Australian scene. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm reviewing an artist from New Zealand right now. What are
Well
we
they
talking about?
well they infiltrated us very seamlessly, so I don't blame you.
This is the first for me, so apologize the slip. We are here to talk about the latest Church EP. I heard you can talk to the dead at Trust Stadium. For those who don't know, Church is one half of the Auckland-based duo Church and AP. This is the second major release, I guess, that Church has been a part of this year. The first being a Church and AP project, Postal, earlier in the year. This one's a nice, quick 5-track EP, but I can't do this alone. And like I said, this is Ruined Friend, so I had to bring along a friend. Please introduce yourself and what you do.
Hey guys, I'm Kat. I am a host on Flipside on FBI Radio on Saturdays, and I produce Sunset with Nasty Girl on Wednesdays on FBI Radio. I'm
Nice.
also just a tastemaker in general and a DJ.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Um, Before we get into thoughts on this, did you check out Postal earlier in the year?
I did. I
Mm.
did.
What was your
I
what was
checked.
your general thoughts on that, if you remember?
Honestly, I loved it. I do have a couple of songs on my main playlist. I was like, I need to chuck it in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, some road trip songs I listened to, but I loved it.
No, for sure, for sure. And I agree. I agree. I've only had a chance to check it out twice, but it's one of those like, why haven't I had a chance to check out this, like, rinse it more type thing.
Yeah, I get what you mean. That was like me going through the whole discography of like everything, and I was just like, wow,
Yeah,
why didn't I have this earlier on my playlist?
no, for sure. For sure. But anyway, not here to talk about Postal. We're here to talk. I heard you can talk to the dead, Trust Stadium. What is your quick one sentence overview thoughts on the project?
It's a 5-track wonderland where it speaks to relationships within like your family or community, but I feel like also just like your personal relationships. Like, yeah, if you've been through it, you've been through it, and you'll listen to this and you'll love it.
Mhm.
But if you've been through it and you're not healed, don't listen to it.
For sure. For sure. I I enjoyed it. It took me a few listens, but only because not it's not a change or switch. It's just not what I typically listen to. And based on Spring 21, um, I was like, oh, okay, this is very different. But the more I listened to it, the more I was like, okay, I'm picking it up. I'm enjoying the vibes. And I think when I first messaged you about it, being like, yo,
Yeah.
you want to do this review with me? You're like, oh my goodness, this is perfect for the day that you sent me this message. I'll check it out.
No, seriously,
Yeah.
I was outside, I was listening to this album, and then the first ever track, like Interview with a Vampire, was like the beat got me. I was like, wow, what a beautiful day it is. And then I listened to the lyrics and I was like, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay, we're going there now. But yeah, I loved it.
No, for sure. For sure. Well, speaking of that, let's get into some of the pros of the project. Kat, I'll let you cook, seeing as you seem to pick up a little bit more of the minutiae of the discussions within the EP a bit more than me. Break it down. What did you really enjoy about this project? And were there any songs that stood out to you?
I reckon the first three songs stood out to me. So Interview with a Vampire, like I said, from the very first beat, like instance I heard it, fell in love with it. But also like the way that he makes like his bars, his flow, everything. Even though it was such a deep topic that he was talking about, it just felt like a breeze.
Mhm.
Like I don't know how to explain it, but I was just so enthralled by it.
Mhm.
Um, and especially because he was having the topic was like one night stands, like
Mhm.
by the lyrics.
Yeah.
So one lyric that he said that really got me was like, "You're giving love that I can't reflect." And I was like, yo, we've all been there, you know, we've all been in that situation. And I'm not getting teary eyed because of it. It's just my eyes are just hurting.
I don't believe you.
I was like, oh my God, oh my God. I'm getting that one situation should really hurt me. No, but seriously, um, yeah, I just think it's so real. Like the lyrics that he put in there as well. Um, and him saying like he's a vampire himself, like I can't feed off your energy without draining you mentally. That lyric also hit deep too, because I was like, wow, yeah, I've definitely met someone like that in my life. But this is like their perspective. So it was a very big eye opener, but it was like a great track to listen to. And then also, yeah, the second track, Pursue, once again, I was enslaved by the beat. Like the very first, I don't know what kind of beat you'll call that. It was like a euphoria type of like backing sound. It was like,
Simply, yeah.
yeah, like that nice symphony in the background.
Ethereal. I think that's a good word.
Yeah, and then it meant, and then he did his lyrics, like he was saying his lyrics, and then boom, that Jersey Club type beat came in. And I was just so electrified by the guitar as well. And it just put like all the focus on his vocals, and you could hear his lyrics so well, and you could understand what he was saying. Like you got the vibe of the beat, but also his lyricism. It really just showcased like he can do it all,
Yeah,
and I loved it.
for
So
sure.
yeah, that was like my second favorite song as well. So the first two songs, loved.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Um, I was a big fan of the first song as well, and probably and Fairy Tale. I think that was my two, like my
Oh, Fairy Tale, yeah.
the song that one, the songwriting, I think that was the one where I picked up a bit more with the lyrics a bit more. I think there was a something about, you know, we missed life while we're scrolling or something.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah.
When he was like, yeah, like what I interpret that song, Fairy Tale, the way I interpreted it was like when you're in the depths of like lonesome and loneliness.
Yeah.
And to me, it was kind of like a reminder song, you know, like, you know, there's still life to be lived.
Yeah.
There's still people out there that loves you. Like, did
Mm.
you know that your mum called? Did you ring? Like that lyric, I was like, oh crap, maybe I should text my mum. I was like, it's been a while. Did I tell her I loved her? But it also is so true in terms of he's like, used to smile, you think I'd forget because like it's been such a long time. I guess in his perspective, it's been such a long time where he's genuinely smiled and been happy. So that's yeah, Fairy Tale was a opener, which is why I say overall with this whole album, if you're not healed, don't listen to it. But honestly, the beats, like even the visualizers that he posted on Instagram at Trust Stadium, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
these are beautiful. And someone that's grown up in Auckland as well, I was like, this is a really good homage back at home. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's loved it. With his song, same thing. When I was listening to that, I was visualizing myself just back at home, like by the lake in New Zealand, just listening to a song. And I interpreted that song as like a post heartbreak song. But I can also see it as like a song where it's not even about heartbreak. It's just about him just trying to hold him back, I guess. Like maybe, or like trying to hold himself up. I don't know how to explain it, but I wrote my notes for this was like, it makes me feel like I'm in my depression state, like I'm in a depressive episode, because the lyrics that he was mentioning, like, haven't reached my horizon, have to flee my surroundings. And I took that as two options, like, have to flee the environment that I'm physically in, or I have to flee the mental space I'm in, which is like really not it. So I was just like, yeah, visualizing myself by the lake in New Zealand. I was like, wow, this is great. I love this.
I guess my final point on the pros, we kind of, I agree with everything you said. Again, I feel like I'm gonna have to rinse it a few more times to now really like pay attention to the lyrics a bit more than I should have. and the topics, but this might be a recency comparison, but it does remind me of something that Childish Gambino might drop
Yeah,
in a Kawhi era
I
more
get that.
specifically.
I was getting those influences, yeah.
No, for sure.
And listening back to like his first solo project and then listening to this new one, um, they are pretty similar, but you can tell that he's definitely picked up influences and he's tried to navigate through new sounds and finding himself again, trying to like try new things out. So I love that for him. And also I love listening to it. So
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. But with one side is the pros, sometimes we also got to touch on cons if there are any. Um, do you have any things, any gripes, any things that you're like, unfortunately, that wasn't my favorite part?
I don't think so.
It's
I
pretty.
think like when you messaged me about listening to this project, I feel like I was in the mental state of like, wow, this, when someone sends you a track and it's like, you'll like the song and you're like everything in your life is like accumulating to this one track. Like that one track is defining everything in your life. And I feel like this album or this EP, when you sent it to me, I was like, wow, this is exactly how I'm feeling. Like
It is this.
in like some parts of the week, this is how I'm feeling. So I don't think there's any kind of negatives on my end, but is there any on yours?
No, I don't think so either. Again, I think it's not a negative, it's just a personal preference, is that I
It
just
is.
Spring 21 a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's a bit more hip hop, which is a
No,
bit
that
my
okay,
taste.
but that shit goes off though. Let's
Oh,
talk about it. That shit goes,
Spring 21.
oh,
We're doing a lot
Canada?
of Spring 21.
Canada?
Hard. Prayer hand emoji has been a bit
Oh
of,
no. I was listening to that just today and I was like, Amen. Amen.
and then I can't believe I slept on it the first time I listened to it, but Onzu, I was like,
Nah, seriously. Because also I slept on Lullaby V2 and I was like, no, what is this? What is this? Yeah, so you can tell that whole project is on both these projects are all the songs are like on my main playlist.
okay. For sure. Oh, but nah, Spring 21. I think that's the one that I press play on quicker,
Mm.
but it's not like I ignore Trust Stadium. It's like that's for there's a specific vibe or
Yeah, there is. I feel like you have to be in a specific kind of mental state and just like emotion to go through and listen to that album. Because like at the end of the day, like listening to all the lyrics and reading all of it as well, it does take a deep cut to you. But I'm gonna be real, the beats were kind of like juicy. I was like bouncing my ass to like, I was like shaking my ass to to like pursue. So like it is all about preference and how you're feeling that week.
yeah, yeah, which is it's really interesting because even over the past few weeks I've been having some personal things, but I don't know why it didn't cut through to me the way it maybe cut through to you. But I don't know, it's obviously it's contextual. It's maybe the specific when lyrics really pop out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So because I do have I'll tell you off mic, but there was a song that I heard over the past week that I'm like, wow, I need exactly the same. I needed to hear that in this current.
No, I get what you mean. Okay, I get what you mean because there's some times like in the week where if I'm like really like depressed or whatever, like if I'm going through it, like if I'm in the trenches going through it mentally, um, like there are some songs where I prefer to listen over other sad songs. And I think it just also depends, like it doesn't even matter what the lyrics are, but I guess it also just depends on the beat as well. Because I know sometimes if I'm like really sad, I'll go through more to like the indie sad songs. But this one just spoke to me like
No, for
when you
sure.
sent it, I was like, wow, this is so real. I was
No,
like, thanks, bro.
I tell the people I'm the music plug. People don't be listening, but
No, they don't. They don't.
it's cool. Go follow Culture Black playlist. Um, um, So anyway, I think we pretty much covered a lot of the bases. I mean, it's 5 tracks, so there's not much to cover, but there's still a lot to cover.
Exactly.
It's one of those like it's packed in this small 15-minute time frame.
It's so nice. It's so
Yeah,
nicely done. And I love that it's 15 minutes.
yeah, for sure. So let's get into our final rating. For those and yourself who might not remember or might not be sure, my ranking system goes: you are either here for this. It can depend on the day whether you are here for this or not, or unfortunately, you are not here for this. So, Kat, what do you rate this project?
I'm here for it.
Nice. And for me, it depends on the day whether I'm here for this or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But honestly, again, with a few more listens and really taking note of the things, I definitely has a potential to be a here for this. And there's still plenty of time. Who knows where it's going to end up on my.
Exactly.
Yeah, but anyway, let you guys out there, let me know what you think. Are you here for this? Is this not really for you? Make sure you let me know. Kat, thank you so much for jumping on.
So good.
Glad this is the one that we finally landed on. Where can the people find you at, / what have you got coming up, and or they could stay tuned for in the near future?
Yeah, so you can catch me on Instagram, C0807T. Wow, your face was like, wow. Okay, yeah, you can find me there, okay? Or you can find me on Sunset with Nasty Girl on Instagram as well. I do part adminship there. Otherwise, you can catch me on your airwaves on FBI Radio on Saturdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And I will be producing in the background on Sunset. So that will be Wednesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I forgot that. I have a gig tonight from at Steppers 231 Sydney. That's the address, Oxford Street. And I have upcoming gigs coming up that are really exciting and I cannot wait. It's currently TBA. Otherwise, you can catch me and Rue doing something really big soon.
Yep. Ooh, gang.
Dang, so excited.
But anyway, y'all see about that. That's we'll keep that. We'll keep that on the. Anyway, thank you, Kat, one more time for coming on. I am Ruth, again, the Culture Black Kid. Ruin friends. Catch you next time. Peace.
Bye.